Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to Raptors Flex Plus, where you know the flex already, fam. I am your host, Kyle, and what an episode we got today. Woo! Yo, I know y'all saw the Darko stuff. Know y'all saw the Darko stuff. So listen, I wasn't even supposed to record today. You know what I'm saying? I build my schedule around the Raptors schedule. And I'm like, you all know what? Like, the Raptors got a back-to-back in LA against the Lakers and the Clippers. I'm just going to combine both of those two games and do like a full episode. But yo, I woke up this morning and this man, Darko, was all sorts of cheesed. All sorts of cheesed. American cheese, cottage cheese, Swiss cheese, Parmesan cheese, nacho cheese. Yo, all sorts of cheese, fam. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yo, he was real mad. The guy was vexed, yo. For those that are not in on what's going on with this stuff yet, let's just share this real quick, yo. The Darko press conference. So hold on. Let's set it up, right? The Raptors lost to the Lakers last night, Tuesday night, 132-131 at Staples Center, okay? And the fourth quarter just had a crazy free throw disparity. I think it was 23 free throw attempts for the Lakers versus 2 for the Raptors in the fourth quarter, right? And let Darko tell the rest, okay? Let's go ahead and share what Coach Darko Rajakovic had to say about this last night.
Like a 50 shot with 23 free throws in that fourth quarter. What did you?
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Doug. That's outrageous. What happened tonight? This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees. Shame for the league to allow this. 23 free throws for them, and we get 2 free throws in the fourth quarter. Like, how to play the game. I understand respect for all stars and all that, but we have star players on our team as well. How's possible that Scotty Barnes, who is all-star caliber player in this league, he goes every single time to the rim with force and trying to get to the rim without flopping and not trying to get foul calls. He gets 2 free throws for the whole game. How's that possible? How are you going to explain that to me? They had to win tonight? If that's the case, just let us know so we don't show up for the game. Just give them a win. But that was not fair tonight. And this is not happening first time for us. Scotty Barnes is going to be all-star. He's going to be the face of this league. And what's happening over here during whole season, I've been holding it back. It's a complete crap.
Coach, do you feel like you're getting any explanations at all? That offensive foul, did you see get any explanation?
No, there is no explanation. They just come up there, they review and they see what they want to see. They don't want to hear us what we got to say. They don't want to hear the players. They don't just want to protect us. Over the game, they got 36 free throws, 23 free throws in the fourth quarter. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? How are we supposed to play?
Is this a one-off, or do you feel this has been happening to your team a lot throughout the season?
It's happening a lot, but I'm telling our guys, be professional, keep fighting, keep going for the next one. But until when? For how long?
So that was Darko Rajakovic after last night's game. Yo, this guy was vexed, bro. He was cheesed. Extra cheesed, yo. Real talk, man. Yo, I feel Darko on this one, man. And I don't think it's more so about the Lakers getting 23 free throws, right, in that fourth quarter. It's about Toronto just not getting any calls, yo. And they said it on the broadcast, too. It felt like all the calls were just going the Lakers' way down the stretch of this game, right? Down the stretch of this game. The RJ Barrett foul, the Emmanuel Quick, let's slow it down. The Emmanuel Quickly foul where he got fouled out, that was a little soft, ticky-tacky, man. But I understand, like, when they go to, like, the monitors and stuff, you're not going to overturn that call, but the issue is that you called it in the first place. I didn't love it, right? And then the RJ Barrett foul on the offensive foul, like, yo, man. Those are some weak calls, man. Those are some weak calls, yo. I'm not mad at Darko for how he reacted in this one, yo. Because you see on the other side, Scotty Barnes going to the basket. Like, he was going to the hole in the fourth quarter. He was going to the bucket. He was being aggressive from like the beginning of the fourth quarter. Then Pascal came in for a little bit, and he was doing some work down in the fourth quarter. And then Scotty just kind of took over from there. Gary Trent hit some shots. Nevertheless, right? 23-2, man, it's crazy. And like watching the game though, right? Like me personally, I didn't really notice it as much until down the stretch. Like Jack and like Matt Devlin, these guys, they're talking about it. And I'm like, yo, true say they're right though. Like, everything is just going the Lakers' way, yo. And the Raptors aren't getting nothing, guy. Nothing. And the worst part about it is this overshadows what was a really good basketball game, yo. A really good basketball game. Competitive, right? Lots of lead changes. Nobody got up double digits, I believe, in this game. I think the most was like 8 points or something by both teams. Like, this wasn't like a game that where we've seen from the Raptors where they've gotten behind 20 and then they had to make a comeback, or even more recently where they've gotten up 20 and then the other team has had to make a comeback and the Raptors have had to hold on type stuff. Like, this was just a competitive basketball game all the way through and through. And it's really unfortunate that it ends in these types of manners where, you know, you're putting it into the referee's hands for foul calls that are just like, Like, I understand why they call it, but to me, again, it's like, it's got to go both ways, man. It's got to go both ways. You can't have such a large disparity like that when both teams are being aggressive. Both teams are being aggressive. But I give the Raptors credit, man, because even with all that going on, they're still hitting shots. You know, they're still finding a way to, like, put the ball in the bucket. Like, that was some real grit and resilience down the stretch. But there's going to be games like this throughout the season, no matter what season it is, where you're just not happy with the referees, yo. You're just not happy with them. And I know, like, as Raptors fans, we have seen this before. It's like an old movie. Like, tell me if y'all remember this, yo. Because this is what I started thinking about when all those fouls and stuff were happening, all right? Do y'all remember when Dwayne Casey called out the refs? Do y'all remember that? Check this out, man. Tell me if y'all remember this, yo. This was back in 2013 when the Raptors lost to the Hawks in what was that game?
Tonight. Yeah, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of losing games because of missed calls at the end of the game. And I know the league is going to come down on me, but I don't care. These guys have fought their hearts out, played their hearts out, and we at the end of the game we get cracked, apology, and we go home, go back to Canada. And it's happened too many. I've been in this league 18 years, and I've never seen as many missed calls at the end of the game to cost us the game. And, and we got great officials in this league. We have good officials and too good to miss calls and shortchange these young men like that. And it's not right. It's not right for these guys to play their hearts out and then come up on a missed call at the end of the game. I wouldn't say if I watched it 3 or 4 times, the replay over and over and over again, hoping that they missed it, but they didn't.
Yeah, man. So, like, this goes on for like another 3 minutes or whatever. Like, but the point stands, right? That was literally almost 10 years to the day. That was January 30th, 2013, right? And we know this as Raptors fans. If any Lakers fans are watching this right now, like, this is like this normally happens for us. At least a few times a season, yo. At least a few times a season where it's just blatant disrespect, fam. Blatant. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Coach Darko might be new to this. I feel like us Raptors fans were kind of hardened. Like, yeah, we know this happens. Like, this is a regular thing. Like, I was talking to my boy today earlier, and he's just like, yeah, just another LeBron game, you know, where the Lakers get 95 fouls and we get 3. Like, obviously, he's just like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, we're hardened to this. We know what it is. It's normal. But it's unfortunate that the league allows this type of foolery to happen, just because 2 big names are on the other side, Anthony Davis and LeBron James, right? And for the most part, I thought the Raptors did pretty well guarding Anthony Davis in this game. Now, mind you, I also think Anthony Davis, like, I don't know, it's like he takes himself out the paint. Like, why are you taking yourself out the paint when the Raptors are undermanned out, like, down there, right? Because you saw to start the game, he's just dominating down there. Right? And then you see, like, near the end of the game as well, him and LeBron doing, like, some pick and roll action and, easy dunks. Like, I don't understand why Anthony Davis, like, moves this way, right? Like, when you have a matchup inside that just should be like curry chicken all night, like, you need to go to that over and over again. Like, obviously, guys like Shaquille O'Neal didn't have the ability to step out and shoot the ball the way that Anthony Davis can. So he was just going to eat in the paint regardless. But, like, sometimes, like, some of the big men in this league need to have that mentality, yo. You've got the matchup, yo. It's not like we got Jokic down there or Embiid down there. You know what I'm saying? We don't even have some of the other, like, mid-tier centers down there. We had Thaddeus Young, respectfully, right? And I thought Thaddeus Young did a pretty good job based on, his physical limitations, age limitation. Like, there's all sorts of limitations coming into this game, asking Thaddeus Young to get his first start of the season, The guy barely plays. He barely comes off the bench, yo. I don't know how many games he's played this season, but it's probably less than half, right? Probably less than half. And if it's more than half, I bet you some of them ones are just in the blowouts. So, like, I don't know. I don't want to take nothing away from, like, what the Raptors did last night. I thought Scotty Barnes played a spectacular game for the most part. Like, him, RJ Barrett continues to show why he's like, don't write this guy off now, Raptors fans. I know we love Emmanuel quickly, and he had himself a good night as well. It was very unfortunate that he got fouled out on that trash of a call, in my opinion. At first, I thought the call was on, there's somebody else there. I forget who else was there, like Boucher or somebody. I didn't even know that the call, or I think it was Barnes, actually. I didn't even know the call was on Emmanuel quickly until they started, like, talking about the replays and stuff. I'm like, oh, they called that on quickly? I was like, oh, okay, sure. But, like, not sure. It wasn't a good foul. You know what I'm saying? And then Pascal Siakam. So those 4 players also had themselves a game. Gary Trent Jr. did some work off the bench. Dennis Schroeder, steady. Like, we had, and Thaddeus Young, again, in the starting line. I think he had 14 last night. 14 points? Let me just double check that real quick. Because I don't want to downplay what Thaddeus Young did last night, right? Because, again, his assignment was guard AD. And he was 5 for 9 from the floor, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Still. Good, I mean, for his standards, y'all, pretty good. Pretty good game. And Davis didn't even really have, like, wasn't even going off like that until, like, the 4th quarter almost. I think he only had 23 at the end of the 3rd or something like that. So he had himself a 4th quarter. But, I mean, you kind of expect that from those guys. And the Raptors kept fighting. They kept fighting. Unfortunately, they came up short. And, there's this whole post-game press conference rant from Darko Rajakovic that is making the headlines today, man. And I didn't watch all of First Take this morning, but, like, while I was looking for this clip on Twitter, right, I saw, like, Stephen A. Smith, like, he's focusing in on, like, what Darko said, like, Scotty Barnes is going to be the face of this league. I mean, we know that coaches are going to ride for their players, Stephen A. Smith. Like, obviously he's not watching this, but, like, we know coaches are going to ride for their players. Like, why wouldn't Darko say that? Well, like, why wouldn't he say it? You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's slighting other players by making this comment. You know what I'm saying? He's not, like, intentionally slighting them. He's just saying that, like, Scotty Barnes is going to be one of the top players in this league, and the fact that he doesn't get the respect from the referees is egregious and outrageous. That is what he's saying when you read between the lines. You can't look at everything just so literal. And I understand too, like, sometimes coaches say things and we know that it's going to get taken out of context. So Darko does need to be a little bit better in that regard. But, like, the way that he was just cheesed yesterday, like, I'm giving him a blind. I'm giving him a blind. The man slapped the table like 5 times, like, just being cheesed about this whole situation in the postgame, you know? And I give the Raptors some credit for that too, because right after that, they sent out Thaddeus Young to do the post-game press conference on behalf of the players, right? So this is like the oldest, I don't want to say the oldest, that's so disrespectful, yo. He's the most seasoned veteran on the team. The most seasoned veteran on the team. You send him out, and, you know, he's just going to speak with class. He's going to speak with dignity. He's not going to say the wrong things. He's going to say the right things. And that was just a really good move by Raptors PR, making sure that they sent out Thaddeus Young, because I'm sure, like, the rest of the Raptors were cheesed, right? Like, you can't send Scotty Barnes into that situation to go do a post-game press conference after. Now, I'm sure at some point in his career, he's going to have to, like, face the music, right? You're going to have to face the music, and you're going to have to be able to articulate yourself in a way that's just mature, with wisdom, and that'll come. But I like the fact that they sent Thaddeus Young out there, right? So, yeah, just a unfortunate loss. But, like, again, I still think this is the best 5-game stretch now that we've seen from the Raptors all season long since making the trade. The best 5-game stretch. We haven't seen any games in here where the Raptors just got blown out. You can argue the Sacramento game, but they fought back in that game and also had an opportunity to win it against a team that is top 5 in the Western Conference, right? So the Raptors are playing some good ball, man. Some good ball. It's unfortunate that Jakob Poeltl is going to be out for at least 2 weeks. We saw yesterday that Thaddeus Young started in the starting lineup. I don't know if the Raptors can do this for 2 weeks. I don't know if the Raptors can do this for 2 weeks, meaning having Thaddeus Young in the starting lineup and expecting the same type of production that you got out of him tonight, right? Now, if we do continue to go that route where Thaddeus Young is our starting center until Jakob Poeltl is back, I'm really hoping that Thad Young can, you know, have like a renaissance, not a renaissance, but just like a rejuvenation of his career for these next 10 games or however long we're going to be without Poeltl, because we're going to need it. We're going to need it badly. We're going to need it badly. And there may be some matchups in there where Darko's going to have to treat this sort of like a playoff series where it's like, know what, we're going small to start this game. Or, you know, we're going to bring Boucher in or Jonte Porter. I'm not exactly sure. Like, a lot of things are just up in the air. And that's what makes it, like, rough, because the trade deadline is coming up in just a few weeks. And you really don't want to fall back anymore in the standings if you're the Toronto Raptors. You really do not want to fall back any further, right? You're just right on the cusp now of possibly getting into a play-in spot. You're closer to look at 9 right now, 9 and 10, versus you are to look at like 8, 7, 6, 5. All those teams are kind of jumbled up in there right now in the Eastern Conference. But you might have to, like, we might have to explore the free agent market and bring somebody in. But again, if those guys were any good, then they'd already be on a roster. So it's like, I don't know, pick your poison. Pick your poison here, right? Maybe we just give Thad Young a few more shots and see if he can get us through the weekend until we get back to Toronto. You know, but it's rough, man. It's rough. It's real rough. But yeah, man, tonight we got the Clippers. And originally I thought like the Lakers game was going to be the one that you really had to get, because the Clippers have been playing some pretty good basketball. Despite losing to the Lakers on Sunday night, like, I thought the Clippers have been playing some good basketball. And you just look at their roster alone, and any given night, this team can go off on you. Off. So if they have an off game or whatever, that's just an off game for them. But guys like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, they're playing this season, including Anthony Davis, which we just saw last night. He did 41 on us, right? So, like, guys are playing this year. They're not sitting out games. And I don't know, I was thinking about this because I'm like, I also just saw recently, in like the last hour or so, that Kawhi Leonard just inked an extension with the Clippers for $153 million extension over 3 years or something like that. I don't know if I got the numbers exactly right, but it's 150 something mil over 3 years. So he's gonna come into tonight feeling nice, right? Feeling nice. But you all know what we need to do? Yo, we don't give up about that, bro. You're gonna get, we're cheese from last night. Super cheese, extra cheesed. And the Raptors just need to come in and do like some of the same stuff that we did last night, 70 points in the paint, 70 points in the paint. Like, that's the type of work that we need to go down there and do against the Clippers. They don't have an Anthony Davis inside, right? They got like Zubac and what's my next man? Daniel Tyson. These guys, like, they're tough, right? They're not like Swiss cheese. But at the same time, if we're doing that in the paint to the Lakers, like, I want to see the same type of aggression against the Clippers, right? And you would expect coming off a night like that where Darko just let the refs have it. And a fine is coming, by the way. A fine is coming, and I'm sure he's aware of it, and I'm sure he's fine with it. But a fine is on the way, okay? So he's gonna pay that. So I hope that the man them go out there tonight and they play for their coach. As much as I downplay Darko Rajakovic and I make jokes and I'm like, it might be a one and done coach, all those types of things, I really appreciate the fact that he went to bat for the man them yesterday. I will say that, yo. Like, sometimes you just have to just let everybody know what pop. You know what I mean? And the man wasn't happy. He wasn't happy because he believes in his players, clearly. He believes in Scotty Barnes, clearly. And it's not like Scotty Barnes is just sitting out there shooting threes all night. He did have some threes. He shot them pretty well, if my memory serves me correctly. He was 3 for 7, 11 for 20 from the floor, right? 26 points. Had himself a pretty good game, a really good game, actually. I thought he played very well, had a few blocks and stuff in there and everything. But obviously the coach believes in him, right? So you would hope that the rest of the team is going to go out there and fight for the coach because of him putting himself on the line like that, and he will get fined. 100%, yo. And let's spoil Kawhi Leonard's day, yo. Let's spoil his day. You just got all this bread, yo. That is what you wanted, right? That is why you left Toronto to go get some bread and be at home? Okay, well, you got your bread. You're at home. Well, we don't care. We don't care. We're coming in there to win tonight. To win tonight. Again, my goal for this road trip for this Raptors team was to go 4-2. As of right now, we are 2-2, right? Could easily be 4-0 on this night. On this road trip, right? I talked about the Sacramento game, the Lakers game, right? All the stuff that was happening for the Lakers down the stretch. They're getting all the calls. So the reality of it is that we are 2-2, right? So you cannot go into Staples and leave Staples 0-2, right? You should be familiar with the rims and everything. You just played there last night. Now, I know coming off a back-to-back is tough, but it shouldn't be as difficult when you have the back-to-back in LA, right? You didn't have to get on a plane and go somewhere, right? You're literally probably just going back to the same hotel room that you were in yesterday and the day before, and you're going to get some shots up in practice, shoot around probably this morning, and then you go play ball, yo. You get some dinner, you go play ball. So I'm expecting the Raptors to have a bounce back night. I know the Clippers are playing well, but we need a W, and we need to go get that. Spoil Kawhi's day, right? So yeah, man, I didn't want to make this one too long. That whole Darko stuff reminded me of Dwayne Casey, and around them times we were starting to make some trades, and the team was really starting to take off a little bit around them times, January 2013, right? So maybe this might be something similar if history like repeats itself in a way, right? Repeats itself in a way where the Raptors feel like they got screwed over, the coach has seen enough, and coming on the heels of a trade, and maybe we end up making a run, and who knows what happens with this team moving forward, man. Who knows? But that is definitely some interesting correlation, man. So yeah, yo, if you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. If you're not subbed, please sub up, comment, like, share, all that, so that we can continue to get these videos out in the algorithm to other Raptors viewers that are watching similar content. Or if you're a Lakers like fan and you just stumble across this, sub up anyways. We're gonna play y'all some other point, yo. And every now and then I might have some words about LeBron James and the Lakers. So come back, come check it, and you know what it is. All right. So until next time, you know the flex, fam. It's me, Guy, and I'm out.